take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I cannot believe how quiet that crowd was for the entire game, except for maybe the last half of the fourth quarter. Angel Reese and the Atlanta Dream come into Indianapolis and defeat Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Stephanie White did not challenge a foul call for Caitlin Clark at all. I've got to tell you, inside the chat tonight, Stephanie White got crushed, absolutely crushed. And Stephanie White, the defensive guru, allowed Angel Reese to come into this house and put up a hell of a game. I can't believe I just said that out loud. 21 points, 8 for 14 shooting, 11 rebounds. She got in foul trouble. They couldn't keep her out of the game. She came out for a little while and came back in. She never left. Never left. Anyways, the Indiana Fever lost the Atlanta Dream by 7 points, 108 to 107. No surprise here, another team scored 100 points against the Indiana Fever, and yes, even though the Fever scored 100 points, it resulted in a loss. When you score over 100 points in the WNBA and you're losing that game, especially by more than 5 points, there's a problem. So let's look at Caitlin Clark's numbers. For one, Caitlin Clark had 26 points, shooting 8 for 17. She was efficient in this game. She went 8 for 12 from the free throw line, had 7 assists, 5 turnovers, and 2 rebounds. So first things first, okay? And Kelsey Mitchell had 26 points. Of course, most of those came in the fourth quarter. Well, I wouldn't say stat padded, but she was playing hero ball in the fourth quarter. She was just putting up shot after shot, and it was going in. She had a rhythm, right? She had it going in the fourth quarter. But nonetheless, Caitlin Clark had things going, I want to say, in the second quarter or the third quarter, where she pretty much was just scoring all game. And it was in spite of Stephanie White. It was iso ball after iso ball after iso ball. Once again, it does not work. It's not compatible with Caitlin Clark's game. She was not used to doing that at Iowa. She can go iso in spurts when she's in rhythm, but it is what it is, man. The Fever definitely lost, but I'm just going to look at this as a win because hopefully this was Stephanie White's last game as a coach. Anyway, that takes us to Aaliyah Boston. We talk about feeding the post, feeding the post, feeding the post. I'm actually getting quite sick of it. Aaliyah Boston, as a hub, she had more turnovers than assists. But everyone loves to harp on Caitlin Clark's turnovers. Oh my gosh, her turnovers. Caitlin had more assists than turnovers tonight. So yeah, that's that. Aaliyah Boston had 4 turnovers and only 3 assists. She had 23 points though, right? So we're going to talk about how all 3 of the big 3 scored 20 plus points, but it still resulted in a loss. Yeah, the reason why is because there was no rhythm to the game. A lot of this was fourth quarter late runs. Stephanie White didn't use the challenge. Let's just get straight into it, shall we? So if you guys don't know, Caitlin Clark debuted her sneakers today on the court. This is her first game rocking her sneakers. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. What should have been a moment where she gave it to the Atlanta Dream, put her stamp on the court, and could have come after the game and said, it must have been the shoes. You know, every player loves to use that line after they have a great game. It must have been the shoes. Caitlin Clark, man, these sneakers are beautiful. But of course, Stephanie White, who's always hating, allegedly, didn't want to see Caitlin Clark make history in her shoes. Caitlin Clark dominate the narrative and the storyline after all of the money, all of the phone calls, and all of the time they spent trying to smear her name in the media with everyone who has connections to her. Like, for one, let me just show you this clip right here and show you exactly how Stephanie White was managing Caitlin Clark.
Everybody pay attention. Look at how Caitlin Clark plays. Great defense right here. Cushion slides, and they call a foul. How is that a foul?
And a foul call against Clark.
Got Caitlin riled up, and Stephanie White doesn't challenge that? That's foul number 3, by the way, in the first half.
So some big name players and some
And of course, Bree January. Hey, Bree, shut the... Oh my God, I can't take anymore. I can't. Bree, shut up. Shut up, Bree, shut up. Shut up. Bree, shut it up. I'm trying not to curse, Bree, shut the Shut up! Shut up! Please! Oh my gosh! Who do she think she is? Shut up! My God!
Yeah, I didn't.
And
love
then
that
Stephanie
call.
White
I
doesn't
think
even
the
challenge it?
Contact we've seen.
Oh my gosh, man.
I don't love that one.
Oh, yo, they gonna get my blood riled. My blood boiling, man. The fact that Stephanie White does not challenge this is crazy. It's crazy, man.
Angel Reese has had to sit the final.
It looked like
few minutes
Caitlyn screaming
as she
towards the
goes
bench
to
as
the
well.
personals.
They probably trying to calm her down. Bree James like, hey, like, man, shut it up, man.
After conceding 71 points to the Atlanta Dream a couple of weeks ago, they conceded 37 more points today. This was a really bad one. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This was a really, really bad performance from the Indiana Fever. Now, before I get into everything that went wrong, let's start by giving credit where credit is due, because the best player on the floor today for either team was Angel Reese. Angel Reese was outstanding. She made winning plays, she made hustle plays, she made big plays in big moments, and I've always said this about Angel Reese. When the game gets tough, she steps up. She always has. You can criticize parts of her game, you can debate where she ranks among the best players in the league, but one thing you can't question is her competitiveness. When the moment gets big, Angel Reese shows up. Now, on the other side, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at Caitlin Clark, I'm annoyed at Aaliyah Boston, I'm annoyed at Stephanie White, and honestly, I'm really annoyed at Stephanie White. When you look at the expected points numbers, they tell a story that matches exactly what we watched. Expected points basically measure the quality of shots a team creates over the course of a game, and according to those numbers, the Fever should have lost by 22 points. And honestly, that felt right. Even though this game was close late, it never really felt close. It felt like the Fever were hanging on by a thread for most of the night. The only reason the Indiana Fever weren't down 20 at halftime was Caitlin Clark. The first half was pure Caitlin Clark heroics. That's it. That's the story. It was Caitlin Clark making difficult shots, creating offense out of nothing, bailing out bad possessions, and keeping Indiana afloat when they had absolutely no business being in the game. Then in the third quarter, she was good. Not great, but good. And when the Fever started slipping away again, it became Kelsey Mitchell heroics. But that's the problem. Everything about this team right now is hero ball. It's Caitlin Clark saving possessions, it's Kelsey Mitchell taking over stretches, it's Aaliyah Boston trying to create something when everything else breaks down. Process-wise, every single decision Stephanie White made today was wrong. Every single one. I'm not even going to go too deep into Stephanie White in this video because that could be a video all by itself. But from rotations to challenges to substitutions to offensive flow, it just didn't work. And here's the thing, not one player on the Fever put together 4 complete quarters. Not one. That's why this loss feels so disappointing. KK Timpson, oh my goodness. The Fever are down by 2 points late in the game. Aaliyah Boston has perfect inside position. KK Timpson is maybe 15 feet away. And instead of making the easy pass for a layup, she throws a cross-court pass right into Angel Reese's hands. Aaliyah Boston had an easy 2 points. Instead, it becomes a turnover. And she didn't just miss the pass, she overshot it by what felt like 12 feet. I'm sitting there asking myself, how does that happen? How are you a professional basketball player making that decision in that moment? Now, I don't hate everything KK Timpson did. Her effort was good. She was active defensively, she got her hands on loose balls, she played hard. The effort is there, but effort alone isn't enough. She's just not good enough to be on the floor right now. And the bigger issue is that Damiris Dantas isn't giving you enough either. Lexi Hall had more fouls than positive contributions. Maisha Hinnon-Allen, I honestly don't know what she's doing out there half the time. Then you look at Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson looked completely lost. And I know what people are going to say. She's a rookie, she's young, give her time. Raven Johnson is 23 years old. She's not 19. KK Timpson is going to be 24 in a few months. These aren't teenagers fresh out of high school. This team, as currently constructed, is not good enough to win anything meaningful. And again, every decision Stephanie White made today was wrong. Now, credit where credit is due again, because Ryan Howard did a really good job forcing turnovers from Caitlin Clark. Caitlin finished with 5 turnovers, and usually I don't care that much about turnover totals because context matters, but these turnovers felt different. They felt costly. Even though the number itself is basically in line with her season average, the timing of the turnovers hurt Indiana. And when you're allowing Isabel Borles to score 9 points in the first half, when Jordan Canada is getting wherever she wants on the floor, and when Caitlin Clark misses 4 free throws, you're putting yourself in a terrible position. This was a tough watch, and honestly, I've never seen Caitlin Clark disappear in a fourth quarter like this. This wasn't just a bad fourth quarter, this was a no-show. You're not blaming Caitlin Clark for the loss, because without her first half performance, this game isn't even competitive. The Fever would have been down 30. But at the same time, she looked nervous, and that's not something we've seen from Caitlin Clark as a professional player. Maybe it was the pressure, maybe it was the foul travel, maybe it was the attention around the shoes, maybe it was exhaustion. Probably a combination of everything. Because Caitlin Clark was aggressive early, then she picked up some phantom fouls, and suddenly the entire rhythm of the game changed. And don't even get me started on Stephanie White. Caitlin Clark sat for 6 minutes in the fourth quarter after picking up that phantom 5th foul. 6 minutes. And while all of that was happening, Stephanie White used a challenge on a play that nearly got upgraded against her team. It was an awful challenge, an absolutely awful challenge. So by the time Caitlin Clark came back into the game, she was out of rhythm, she was tired, she had already carried the team for 3 quarters. And then, for the first time in her professional career, she looked nervous. That's not what you want to see. Not at all. This was a disappointing game, a really disappointing game. There were some positives, though. Ty Harris gave them decent minutes, and Kelsey Mitchell was phenomenal in the second half. 21 points in the second half. When everything starts falling apart, Kelsey Mitchell has a way of putting the team on her back. That's what she does. She fights, she competes, she keeps Indiana alive. But the reality is simple. The Indiana Fever didn't deserve to win this game. If they had won, it would have been daylight robbery. They played well in the first quarter. After that, they got outplayed for the next 3 quarters. You're not going to play great every night. That's basketball. But the most frustrating part is looking at the box score afterward. The Fever's big 3 combined for 75 points on 47 shots. 75 points. And somehow it still didn't work because none of them played well at the same time. Caitlin Clark carried the first half, Aaliyah Boston carried parts of the fourth, Kelsey Mitchell carried them late. It was your turn, my turn basketball. And I don't care how many points you score playing your turn, my turn. The process is wrong. The process is wrong. You can steal games through individual greatness, but you cannot build a winning system around individual greatness alone. At some point, you need structure. At some point, you need offensive flow. At some point, you need players creating advantages for each other instead of taking turns trying to save possessions. Caitlin Clark was brilliant early. Kelsey Mitchell was brilliant late. Aaliyah Boston had her moments, but it never clicked together. Kelsey Mitchell missed a big 3 late, but you can't blame her. She earned that shot. She had carried the offense. She even had a chance to attack the rim and tie the game, but she was feeling it and took the 3. Sometimes that happens. The bigger issue is that the Fever shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. Process-wise, if the Fever continue playing like this, they're not going to win many more games. They're just not. It's a pity because the talent is there, but talent without structure only gets you so far. This is in spite of Stephanie White, by the way. This is in spite of having screens. 4 straight quarters of no screens, lack of effort, lack of everything. I'm just sick of this, man. Listen, chat, I'm just not here for it anymore. I hope this was Stephanie White's last game. I hope you guys don't fan for it as well. This film breakdown is going to be very, very ugly, but it's going to be a bunch of hard truth in here. Well, Caitlin Clark was on an island majority of the game, so expect to see a lot of that. Indiana Fever Media, and I don't know if he's at these games or not, probably not, but there's plenty of Fever Media there. You've got to ask Stephanie White, why aren't you challenging any of these fouls? Inquiring minds want to know. But she challenged a different one. I think it might have been the Sophie call or something. And I was like, why are you challenging this one? Of all the fouls you were choosing to challenge, this was not the one. Again, nonsensical. I'm going to be real. I want to see what Austin Kelly can do with this team. There, I said it out loud. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.